Drew Estate, Acid, Def C, Imperfecto. Hey everybody, I'm okay, and this is Cigar Vlog. Alright, so this is part of the acid line. Everybody knows that acids are infused, which means you cannot store them in the same humidor as everything else. Focus on the cigar, please, thank you. But, yeah, these are known for being particularly strongly flavored with an infusion of essential oils during the curing process. They're also known for being a little bit on the, say, over-infused side, to the point where you can't really taste the tobacco. These bands on here are incredibly loose. I'm just going to go ahead and yank these right here, right now. Now, the shape here is a perfecto, which is kind of a type of pyramid. So you got everything getting squished down to the head. Everything's also squished down to the foot. You need to be a little careful here because just like the shaggy foot, this can make for kind of a screwy light. I mean, look at that. May as well be lighting a cigarette, right? Okay. Oh, so far, not as punchy in the face sweet as others of the line. You can still very discernibly note the infusion. It kind of has that very kind of like cardamom, cinnamon, sweet spice, kind of potpourri kind of thing. You also get a hit of the tobacco, which I'm thinking is going to fall into more of a kind of Connecticut shade style profile, meaning clean tobacco, little coffee, right? Kind of interesting how you can actually discern that in this one. Well, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get over the tunnel, get this down to the first inch. And hopefully, my little torch and scorch there was enough to not screw everything up. There's also hoping I don't end up tripping and busting my ass in this field. All right, get back to you at the first inch. Okay, so we're about an inch in-ish. And it's a little bit of a misnomer to say that because it goes from like cigarette tiny to like full, like 55, 50-ish gauge, maybe 58. I want to say it might be a 58 gauge. But anyway, had to do a slight touch up because, the typical scorch tends to be a little extreme. Overall, though, this one is kind of interesting because you actually can cut through the infusion and you can get a solid earthy tobacco. There's also that kind of potpourri infusion thing just kind of layered on top of it. But the fact that it's there is actually kind of impressive. Not gonna lie. Ugh. Try not to choke on my own spit. Ugh. Anyway, right down the throat. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get this down to the halfway point. Monitor how it burns. Try not to spit when I talk. Ugh. Yes, this is turning out to be one of those messed up videos. Anyway, like I said, I'm gonna get this down to the halfway point and give an update from there. See if something wakes up, changes, or does anything different. I keep wanting to say something about the whole pyramid head. And I think the only thing I can say about it is you have to be kind of careful with these because, one, you end up losing a lot of tobacco with these things. Also, they kind of end up being a little prone to tarring. But that said, I'll get back to the halfway point. Alright, so we're at a pretty decent halfway point. Hopefully wind's not playing hell with the mic. But, so far I've noticed, this one's kind of interesting. It actually strikes a pretty good balance between the infusion and the actual tobacco. The actual tobacco itself is, I want to say, earthy, kind of woody. There's almost like a slightly meaty quality to it. And there's the infusion on top of that, which has like cardamom, clove, nutmeg, things like that. So it's kind of striking me as a flavor profile very similar to like a well-made old-fashioned. You get good smoky notes off of your whiskey, but you also get that sweet kind of baking spice off of the sugar or simple syrup that goes into it and the bitters, right? Overall, turned out to be pretty good. Also, wind is not playing nice with me today, so I'm gonna go ahead and make this short. Get down to the head, get down to the nub, and hopefully not eat a hairball. Okie doke, getting pretty much down to the nub here. It's kind of weird. After the halfway point, most of the infusion flavor kind of sort of dies out. Either it dies out or it like completely melds in with the rest of the actual tobacco flavor. The actual tobacco flavor itself is really not sweet. It's kind of borderline savory. Like I said, it's got kind of like an almost meaty quality to it. Now, since the tobacco is infused, when you go to puff on it, it's under your nose, you still smell the infusion. But it's not in the mouth. There's maybe a hint of it in the retrohale. Retrohale, by the way, has pretty much been everything you get in the mouth, just double down. Overall, interesting how it's blended in the fact that the actual infusion doesn't really get in the way of the tobacco. The tobacco itself is, I'm going to say maybe kind of at odds with the infusion, but in kind of a good way. Like I said previously, it kind of reminds me of an old-fashioned made with, I want to say a woody whiskey, woody bourbon. Because there's definitely a woody note. Like I said, there's also the kind of borderline meaty quality to it. Overall, very interesting. Now, as far as burn issues go, there was a little bit of a crack in here, so I can pretty much guarantee you that was just me storing it improperly, because I have to store them in a small little humidor that I kind of tend to ignore because I don't usually have infused cigars. And the reason for that is because I get like a bundle of regulars, and it's like, I can't store this together. Here's the end, though. We are kind of getting to one of the downsides. I don't know if this is in focus or not. One of the downsides of this squeezy torpedo head. The draw is starting to get a little snug towards the end here. And you can kind of see there's a little bit of resin tarring up around there. And that's a problem with the torpedo head style. Or the pyramid head style, I should say. Pyramid. Every time I say pyramid head, I keep thinking of Silent Hill, which is... We're not going to get into that. Anyway, overall for an infused cigar, definitely interesting. Which means it's probably worth checking out. Provided, of course, my vocal cord doesn't jam mid-word. Anyway, would I consider buying a box of these? Probably not. 5-pack, definitely. Drink pairings, pair with an old-fashioned. End of story. Coffee, don't even bother. Old-fashioned, 100% old-fashioned. Also, this is kind of wanting to go out on me. Anyway, this is pretty much telling me the video is done. So, that said, if you like this review or any review, like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know if you had a different experience. There's somebody walking down the road, so I'm going to wrap this up really quick and be fast as hell and blah, 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 blah. Check out my Twitch stream Sunday, Friday night to 2 a.m. Maybe if you get a chance. Other than that, that's pretty much all I got. I'll see you next time.